you gotta go. You gotta come out. So this is my list of top 10 baby items for 2025, and they are items that I would use again and again for all my pregnancies. Number 1, a haka, or any sort of non-hump related collection. So if you decide to breastfeed, one of the things that you can use is called a haka. So when you're breastfeeding your baby on one side, you suction it on your other side and it collects the letdown, because you're naturally going to let down milk on both sides when your baby's feeding. It was a super easy way to collect milk without having a pump. So when I did that each time, I did it, for most of my feedings with my son during the day, especially in the beginning, and I would get like 2 to 3 ounces of milk each time. So it's a really great way to build up a stash without having to actually set up your pump and devote time to pumping, because you're already feeding your baby. One of the things I'm looking into this time is called the LV Curve. It is similar to the haka. It attaches, but it can actually go in your bra. The one bad thing about the haka is it sticks out. I was only able to use mine for about 3 months, because once my son started to get a little more active, he was able to kick it and kick it off, and then you spill milk everywhere, which is not fun for anyone. And then a hack for the haka. So a lot of times when you're feeding, you're usually feeding and nursing to sleep. So if I was nursing him, I would be on the couch or in my chair in the nursery, and I would be feeding him using my haka on the other side, and then you're done and you have a thing of milk. And if you don't have anybody to immediately put it in the fridge for you, which is fine, you have to set it somewhere. And so my hack is to actually get a mug to set it in so it doesn't tip over, because it's not very stable. We knocked ours over a few times, which is very devastating when you work so hard to make milk and you spill it. It's just a little hack. Just have a mug sitting wherever you're going to be feeding regularly, and you can put it in the mug and it won't fall over. I found this was an easy way to build a stash. And what I would usually do, I had also bought these, you can use anything, but specifically bought these glass containers for milk. They held up to 6 ounces, so I would just pour my milk that I collected from my letdown during the day, and then once I got to close to 6 ounces, I would pour it into one of the milk bags and freeze it. Another thing you may want to think about when freezing milk is to freeze it in various sizes. I froze a lot of milk in 6 ounces because that's how much the bags hold, but I ended up wasting it, because when it would get used, if I was away and somebody had to feed him and he only wanted 2 or 3 ounces, but you've already thawed the 6 ounces, it inevitably went to waste. So just a thought that you may want to store your milk in smaller increments. The second thing is something that we still use with my first. He is actually 16 months old, and then we've bought another one for our soon-to-be second, which is the Nanette Pro camera. So you obviously want some sort of camera. We do have a regular baby monitor, but I felt like a camera, if you can handle it, it gives you a lot of peace of mind. I know there's a lot of people who say they don't want a camera because they check it religiously, but I felt like it was super beneficial for us in the beginning, and it's still beneficial now. The Nanette Pro is the camera that we got. It mounts on the wall and you can see their crib. It connects to an app and you can download it on your phone or your iPad. You can download it in multiple places. So my husband has it, my mom has it. Everybody can see the baby when they're watching him. And it's just been good to check in on him and see if he actually needs help or assistance, or if he's just fussing to fuss. So right now, the biggest thing is he keeps spitting out his pacifier in his sleep. So if he wakes up and he's fussing, we can check and see does he have a pacifier? And then if not, we can go in and give it to him. I really liked it in the beginning too, because it also alerts you on your phone. You don't have to have the app open to get notifications that there's noise or emotion going on in the crib. So I really liked that. You can talk through it. I haven't really used that feature. And then one of the other features that I really liked was it tells you how long they've been asleep. So I found this really helpful for nap time. If you put your baby down for a nap and you can't really remember when, especially in the early days where you're not really consistent. Now, we have a very consistent schedule. We know when we put him down, when he's gonna wake up, but in the beginning, you may not remember. So it's good to check the app and it'll tell you they've been asleep for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour and a half. You get to see those statistics. So it helps you go, okay, I know they're gonna at least sleep for another 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, which I really liked. I'm currently 34 weeks pregnant with my second, so I've got a little ways to go, but I'm over it. So like I said, I am a soon to be second time mom. So these are just the 10 products that I really loved and that I would use again. Some of them I'm actually getting a second one of, but I really loved them. My first is 16 months, so I have a lot of experience with these products. I've really put them to the test. So I thought I would share them all with you, and hopefully you find this list helpful. The third thing that I would register for again, and we will be using for baby number 2, is our Chico infant car seat and the activity stroller travel system. So what I really liked was the obviously safety features of the Chico car seat. It's one of the Consumer Reports top rated car seats, which is great for safety. We want baby to be safe, and it goes up to 30 pounds. So our first was able to be in it. I mean, technically he can still ride, and he's 16 months, so it will last you a while. You don't have to worry about getting the toddler car seat right away. But I really liked this car seat. I felt like it was very easy to use. I felt like it was pretty lightweight and easy to like carry him around in the car seat, especially when he was a newborn. One of the things I also liked about it is like it had a base, so we were able to buy an extra base for my husband's car. So it was nice to not have to take it out every time we were using a different car. And then what I really loved and still use, we love it, we use it all the time, is our activity jogging stroller. So it is in the same universe as the Chico infant car seat, and the car seat itself snaps into the stroller. So it made it really easy in the beginning. Like when we were going to doctor's appointments or going out, I could pull the stroller out, get the car seat out, and the car seat would clip into the stroller, and I wouldn't have to get him out of the car seat to go in anywhere. I liked this one better, especially because I knew he wouldn't really want to be in his car seat long term. So it really helped to go ahead and have a stroller that was appropriate for when he was sitting up, and then we wouldn't have to get the car seat out. We could just get the stroller. I love the stroller. I also am a runner, so we've taken tons of like jogs and runs and strolls with the stroller, and he seems to like, you know, he's comfortable in it, holds a lot of stuff on the bottom. I would recommend those two. We did have like a whole travel system, so I have a whole other stroller that I can talk about too if you're interested in that as well. Like I said, I'm a second time mom, so if you want more information, if you want more videos about what that's like, getting registry ready, I'm gonna do videos about packing my hospital bag, so subscribe and let me know what you want to see. Number 4, a car camera. This was like my favorite thing. I know a lot of people use the mirrors, but the car camera was just so much better. It was $20 or $30 on Amazon. I'll have to look it up, but it wasn't that expensive, and it plugs directly into your car. You set it up on the headrest above them, and then you can literally see them in real time right in front of you. You can put the camera on your dashboard or in your console compartment, you know, wherever you want to put it, which I found way more helpful than like trying to look in my mirror, in a mirror. Like it just worked a lot better, especially if you're like fishing out pacifiers and trying to see like what your baby's doing. So I just really liked that, especially in the beginning. You know, you're a new mom. Every sound your baby makes is alarming. It's just nice to have eyes on them. So like I'm a big fan of like the baby cameras, obviously, if you couldn't tell. And it just gave me peace of mind to be able to see him. Number 5, which I am currently utilizing in our new, not completely put together nursery, but a good recliner, glider, rocker, some sort of chair that has movement that you will be spending hours in. And I'm not exaggerating. I knew I wanted a good rocker recliner. I wasn't sure how much I wanted to spend when we found out we were pregnant with my first, but I knew I wanted something that was going to be comfortable and that would last, you know, for however long we were going to be having kids. So I ended up getting, this is a Lazy Boy, which is a little pricey for a lot of people. I totally get that. This is the, I'm not even sure if they still sell this one, but it is the Felix gliding recliner. And what I love about it is obviously a glider, rocks, but you can also recline and go completely horizontal, which is really convenient when you're contact napping and you want to just like chill out. But I'm not exaggerating when I say I've spent thousands of hours in this chair. And I think We always see a lot of people like in movies and shows like rocking, walking around, bouncing the baby. And you do some of that, but you can only do that for so long. I need to be sitting, especially post-baby. You're exhausted, your body's recovering, you've been through a lot. You want some place where you can sit comfortably to nurse, to rock your baby to sleep, to comfort them, to contact nap. I would definitely look into something quality. I think I got this bought in 2023 Memorial Day sale. I want to say for $1,800. So I know, like I said, that's a big purchase for a lot of people. It was a big purchase for us, but I knew we were gonna have it for probably ever if I ever wanted to recover it. Like, obviously it's a quality piece of furniture, but just always in the back of my mind, my mom never bought a rocker. She had a wooden rocking chair, which they still have, and we used it a couple times when we were at their house, and it's just a terrible experience. They don't stay in place when you rock, so you like rock into a wall. It's not comfortable. I don't know what she was thinking. She was being stubborn. She didn't want to spend the money. I don't think you have to spend this much money necessarily. I know there's a lot of good like $500, $600 rockers on Amazon and other places, but this is the one that we got. I love it. Invest in something that you're going to want to be sitting in and be comfortable in. Number 6, this is again another peace of mind one, which is this thermostat duck. So I had no experience with a baby before I had my baby. I think I'd held a baby twice in my entire life. Like, I did not grow up with other babies other than my brother, but he's only 3 years younger. Like, I don't remember him being a baby. I just did not know what I was getting into. So I was very worried about bath temperature, water temperature, like making sure that everything, like it wasn't too hot and that it was the right temperature for our son. And so someone actually, I didn't even know this existed, gifted us this rubber duck thermostat. So you just put it in the bath when you make it, and it tells you what the temperature of the water is, and it'll beep at you when it gets too hot. So you want the temperature of their water to be around 100, 101 degrees. And once it goes over 102, it will tell you like it's too hot. And I felt like this was really reassuring in the beginning when you're just figuring things out. Now, obviously we know like to touch what a good temperature is. We do still have it, we still use it, but we know where to go with the water temperature. But it just gave me, again, a lot of peace of mind in the beginning. It tells you exactly what the water temperature is. And also if it's too cold, like you don't want your baby to be cold in the bath. So I think it's a good way to just gauge where your water is and if it's appropriate for your baby. And along with bath time, this other thing, as a geriatric, I'm 33, so I'm not that old, but in pregnancy world, I feel like they treat you like your grandma, is the bath kneeler and like elbow guard for the tub. So we have like an old school tub, like the insert tub, and I just found it super helpful in the beginning because you're bending over like into the tub to bathe your newborn, and to have like a actual pad to kneel on, it feels much better on your knees. And then to have something on the top of the tub that you can rest your forearms or your elbows on and not feel like super uncomfortable. These are all about comfort. A lot of these are about comfort. But I just found that super helpful, and it was something like we've used since we had our son. It's still in the bath. We will be using it with this baby. We will continue to use it. Number 8, this isn't something that I registered for, but it is something that I bought in the first year. And if you haven't watched, I have a video where I go over everything I bought in the first year of having my son. So anything that I forgot to register for or didn't buy. And this was one of my favorite things that I got, and it is a giant play yard. So when my son was around, I think 6 months, 7 months, whenever he kind of started to get a little bit more mobile, we thought he would be crawling soon. We went ahead and got this big play yard to, contain him. And it also really helped, like he could pull up on the side so he could practice standing. And we had a safe place to put him in if we needed to leave the room. I got a mat with it because the one that came with it wasn't super thick, but the one we got was, and it was a much better experience. Especially if you're gonna lay in the play yard with your kid, you want to be comfortable as well. So we would just put a ton of pillows in there on the mat, and we'd hang out with him, we'd watch TV, we'd play with his toys, and we got a ton of use out of it. And what I'm actually interested in now is we're going to be using it with the newborn, but we're going to be using the play yard as a like newborn safe zone. If we want to keep our toddler away from the baby, we can put him in there and he will be safe from the toddler. Number 9 is a wipe dispenser. Like I said, I had never had any experience with a baby before, and I didn't even have this on my registry because I hadn't thought about it, but somebody gifted us this as well. So a wipe dispenser is just like a, container that you can put your package of wipes in. The one we have has a little weight that goes on top so it doesn't pull all the wipes out when you're pulling a wipe out, and the lid is pressured so you like press it down and it pops open. So what's great about that is when you're changing a toddler, an infant, newborn, they're moving around a lot of things are going on. You need as many hands on them as you have, but it made it a lot easier to change our son and then use one hand to get a wipe out without having to like set him aside, open the package, pull wipes out, especially because you don't always know what you're getting into when you change a diaper. And so I just found it a lot easier to change him with that. It kind of made it easier, like you're changing them with one hand. I really like it. Like I said, we'd buy another one if we didn't have the one that we had. I'm out of breath. And then number 10, this is another thing we bought within the first year, but I would register for it again. That's another thing, if you hadn't thought about your registry beyond the first few months, you really should think about the first year or two. We had a lot of stuff I'm not talking about today, but we registered for a lot of things, thinking through our son's growth within the first year so that it didn't put a lot of pressure on us to buy stuff as he reached milestones. And it also gave people more options when they were buying from our registry. So things like a high chair or a toddler car seat, things he was going to grow into, not just stuff for a baby. So this is something that I would register for, but we hadn't, and it is a bouncer. So it is this little Fisher Price bouncer. I think we got it on Amazon. I'm sure it's on Amazon. But he is obsessed with it. He still loves it. 16 months. We got it when he was around 7 months and was standing kind of on his own. He was showing signs that his hips were, developed, and he was ready to like be in a bouncer. So we just put him in there and let him go to town. Just jump and jump and jump. And he would if we let him stay in there all day, he would. We kind of did like a 45-minute time limit on it because we didn't want him to be in there too long. And it was a really great, especially when he was in a bad mood. It was something that we could kind of pull out of our back pocket as a like last resort. It was going to give us 30 minutes to get dinner ready. We could just stick him in the bouncer, he'd bounce, he'd be happy, and we could get whatever we needed to get done. So big fan of the bouncer. Let me know what you think. Would you buy these? Would you register for these? Do you have anything I should add? Congratulations on your baby, and I hope you have a great day.